A day comes and goes in the city of Brass. The incident Crassus endured that morning quickly became a well-spread point of gossip, and even Cole couldn't deny that the one failed project having ended up being Crassus's was bad for reputation. These thoughts would fill his mind as he walked through the quietly waking residential district. Cole is always one of the first people out on the streets, as he enjoys the silence of dawn. And silent it is, the calls of birds and bugs long replaced by the whirring of well-oiled machinery. The dawn sun dances across the city, shining beautifully against the complementary colors of the brass surroundings, and playing off the storm clouds below. Underneath the roads and housing cells of the district, the pilot corps had already been working away, processing data and deploying her ever-growing hive of worker bots unseen by the humans atop. Cole eventually makes his way to the district border, where the housing and streets gave way to monorail stations and airship docks, hung off over the open air. Cole waits at the monorail station, watching the wispy smoke rise from the far-off industrial district, the airship crews preparing their scavenging runs to their surface, and the stormy clouds below, wondering what they might conceal. He ponders this until his monorail silently pulls up to the station and automatically opens the doors for Cole to enter. A brass monorail is usually made up of an array of pods designed to carry a number of things, from parts to passengers. However, this one is much smaller to accommodate for her single rider. Cole steps into the one empty passenger pod, finding a seat and addressing the small camera and speaker in the corner. "Good morning, pilot. Thanks for sending it early." The camera swivels slightly to meet Cole's face. A tinny voice replies, "Of course, Cole. You are approximately 10 minutes late of your usual time. Is there anything you would like to share?" "Just something on my mind." Cole sits in silence the rest of the way, watching the clouds wheeling below and the districts of brass whizzing by. He remains lost in thought until the monorail reaches its station and slows to a stop at the educational district. The doors slide open, and Cole steps out. "Have a good day, Cole." Cole gives a mumbled thanks and begins his walk through the educational district. He walks past the laboratories and libraries, taking his time and remembering days past. The educational district is where all of Brass's knowledge is learned, stored, and spread, its skyline being dominated by the school building. Standing out from the others, the school rises above the district by an imposing few floors, arrayed around a set of spires. In other words, it's bleeding massive. Each floor is dedicated to one age group, and each spire is dedicated to one scholarly discipline: mathematics, literature, sciences, etc. Even if Cole wasn't familiar with the district, the school isn't hard to find. The gates open before him, and he takes the stairs up to his first class to wait for his friends. After an hour or two, chatter starts to trickle through the halls as students arrive and start navigating to each of their classes. Out of the crowd, Lila playfully teases Crassus, him not taking it so well. "Just saying, you might not be as golden as you think you are." Crassus, however, still staunchly denies his fault to the breakdown. "It's not my fault, it should have worked. I did absolutely everything right." "Evidently you didn't. Besides, it's good for your character." Cole interjects, starting a new round of bickering between Lila and Crassus until the teacher approaches the crowd and silences them with a look, producing a small brass card and moving towards the door. He slides it into the reader and waits for a moment for the door to open. After a moment, he puts the reader again and again, still yielding no response from the door. Letting out a heavy, resigned sigh, he says, "Class is dismissed until this is resolved. Don't leave campus, please." The group of students' cheer was heard throughout the halls, and they quickly dispersed into the grounds, quietly talking on their way to wherever they were going. Lila and Crassus tag along behind Cole as he heads in the direction of the school library, silently resolving to spend some time studying instead of idling. They pass unhindered through the empty halls, quickly making it to their destination. In comparison to some others, the Brass School Library is pretty small, of a good 20 shelves reaching from floor to ceiling, holding scrolls, books, and phonographic records. At the other side, a visibly aged robot sits at its service desks, holding an open book. Hey, Lib. Cole immediately turns down one of the aisles, but Lila, ever perceptive, breaks away from her conversation with Crassus and starts moving towards the ancient machine. Lib, you awake? At this point, Crassus also notices something wrong with the librarian. Cole, come over here. You're a better mechanic than me, but shouldn't Lib be active right now? Just as Crassus said, Lib had not responded to their greeting, presence, or even moved to sort the papers or turn the pages of the book on their hand. Having closed the distance, Lila waves a hand in front of Lib's optical receptor. To no response. The trio try everything they can to activate the robot. They shout at them, take their book from their hand, and Lila even steps to their side of the counter. Wants a sure way to get a reprimand in the form of a "back in my day" speech. That's weird. Lib must have broken down, but they haven't broken down in some 100-odd years, I'm guessing. With a closer view, Lila notices something. A small black ring of residue around the usually spotless robot's fuel injector. Relaying this to Cole and Crassus. Deep in thought, Crassus thinks aloud. Really unlucky that 3 machines that should have worked break down in 2 days. Are you suggesting this was deliberate? It must be, right? Crassus mutters back to no one in particular. And if it is, then I want to get to the bottom of it. Rejoining the group, Lila mischievously sinks an arm around Crassus's shoulders. That sounds fun, buddy. I'll tell you what, I'm free tomorrow, so you can call me up to help you get to the bottom of this. Alright, see you two then, replies Crassus, far too deep in his own thought to detect sarcasm. The bell rings out through the school, and Crassus quickly walks out of the library, leaving an amused Lila and an exasperated Cole. We just got roped into this, haven't we? Well, like I said, it sounds like it'll be more fun than an empty schedule.